Hi beauties, welcome back to my channel. So sorry that it's been a week, and I know I say that on a regular basis, but I really am. Just trying to get everything to get back to normal, and hopefully the videos will just start flowing a lot quicker. So sorry I sound like my voice is a little bit deeper. I think I'm getting sick, so I wanted to come on and make some videos before. Hopefully that doesn't happen, knock on wood, but you know, if it does, then I'm probably going to be out of commission for a while. But anyhow, I just got off work just got home from work and had an interesting day today. But I did want to do a video, a story time video, because I know I had mentioned something in the past about how I had like a ghost story. And I know a couple people said that they wanted to hear that. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to tell that story. So here we go. Okay, so I think it was 2000. Yeah, it was in 2000. I was 21. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this program, but they have a program called Job Corps, and it is for, I think it's 18 to like 4 years old. They have them all over the country, and pretty much like what it is you can go, they make you do a drug test to make sure you're not using drugs. It's like a vocational school. You can get your driver's license there. You can get your high school diploma, your GED, or sorry, not your high school diploma, your GED, your driver's license. They've got all sorts of different vocations depending on which one you go to. It's co-ed, so it's guys and girls, and they have dormitories that you stay at. And when you leave, if you finish the program, you get so much money for completing it, and it pretty much gives you enough money to be able to afford to move into, your own place once you get out of it. And a lot of people actually stay. I think they can stay for up to like 3 years, I want to say, because once you finish the vocational programs, they allow you to stay there and go to college, like continue at the community college if you want to do that, which I didn't do that, but I did finish a vocation there for nursing assistants. I was a CNA. So let me get started with the story. So I was 21, like I said, and it was in the year 2000. Me and my friend Donnie decided, me and my friend Ashley, I went twice. So me and my friend Ashley decided to go to Job Corps, and she was quite a bit younger than me. She was 18, I want to say, 17 or 18. She's pretty young. Anyhow, we went, and I loved it because it was meeting new people, getting to know people. A lot of people end up dating at Job Corps because it's a co-ed thing, like I said. And I met a group of girls that I really, got along with well. And I remember there was this one girl, Jennifer. Her name was Jennifer, and she was in a room with 1, 2, 3 other girls. So there were already 4 girls in the room. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there was 3 girls. So Jennifer and then 2 other girls. And I don't remember their names. But they had a bed available. And so they asked me if I wanted to move into the room. And so I was all excited. And like we got permission from the RA, the residence advisor, I think that's what it is. So we got permission. And so we started moving my stuff over, and like I got all moved in, and like we each, had like a little twin bed in each corner of the room. And so to give you a little backstory about where I went to Job Corps, I live on the West Coast, and I am originally from California, but I've lived in Washington for a long time as well. Like I've always gone back and forth because my parents were divorced when I was really young. And so it was just normal for me and my brother to go to my mom's in the summer and like, be in California at my dad's during like the school year and that sort of thing. So I was looking for a Job Corps that was large because I wanted it to be like a really fun experience. I wanted a place that offered a lot of different vocations, and they have one in Oregon called Piney Point. Is it Piney Point? Tongue Point. Sorry, that was another school I went to. Tongue Point Job Corps in Astoria, Oregon, and you guys can look it up. It used to actually be some history on it. It used to be an old World War II base, and so it's really old. So I want to say there were 4 different reses, so 4 buildings, dormitories where people stayed, and they were really like, one of them was really, like, kind of off on its own, and then there was a second res, and I remember that was res 3, and that was kind of like I didn't really go to that one that often, and then they had dorm 1 and 2, and those ones were, like, connected, I remember. I think the women were on the top and the men were on the bottom. I just remember being on, like, in res 1, like, on the top floor. And the room that I moved into was a corner room. So one of the walls was, a window because we were on the corner second floor. And then the rest, we had one other person, that we shared a wall with. And that was it. So anyway, I move in and I get everything moved in. And like then that night, like we're getting ready to go to bed, but the light's on and like we're all kind of just like sitting up talking and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, like we hear this knocking on the wall. And it was like that. And I was just like, okay, at first I thought it was just like the neighbor that made the knocking sound. And then we hear a knock like on the other wall. And so it just went that like bam, 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 like on each wall, right? It would go 1, 2, 3, 4, like, and it was going like around the room. I'm kind of getting creeped out talking about this. So anyways, I didn't think anything of it. And then I realized that we were in a corner room and we were on the second floor. And one of those was windows, not even a freaking wall. And so I was like, what the hell? Like what is that? Like, what is that? I'm confused. And the knocking got louder and louder. And it like went around the room and went around the room and went around the room like 3 or 4 times. And my roommate was just super chill about it. And she's like, oh, she's like, that's fine. She's like, that's just the ghost. Whatever her name was, I don't even remember now. She's like, she comes and goes. She's like, but she's super nice. And, we just asked her to leave and like, she usually leaves us alone. And I was just like, okay, this is kind of creepy. And then like, not even like a minute later, this girl had like a hair tie, like a scrunchie, whatever you want to call it back in the day. And she had a hair tie in her hair. And I legit saw this hair tie like come out of her hair and it was like floating. It was like this box of crayons just like floating right behind her head, midair for at least 5 seconds and then just like dropped. And that freaked me out. I mean, come on, like who wouldn't be freaked out by that? And right after that happened, her bed, which was a twin bed, and it was a good, like maybe 7 feet, 6 or 7 feet away from me. Her bed, like elevated, I'm not joking, you guys, like elevated that far off the ground for like a good 5 seconds or so, and then just like dropped. And that was enough. That was all it took. I'm not a religious person. My mom did give me a St. Christopher because she's Catholic when I went to Job Corps just to protect me. And I straight went down to the RA's office as soon as that happened. And because they all were cool with it and I wasn't cool with it. I went down there and I asked to be moved. They said they couldn't move me. I explained what happened. They kind of laughed it off like they didn't believe me. And so I checked out a lamp because you could check out lamps from their office. And I slept with that lamp on all night. And the night after that, and the night after that, and the night after that until they sent me home. I called my mom like the next day and I was like, you're never going to believe like this place is haunted and my room. And I told her everything that happened and like she didn't come and get me, but I had to wait. I remember I had to wait like a couple days for like them to release me or something like that. I don't really remember. And then the girl that I ended up staying with, she ended up leaving Job Corps. And so I just got a ride with her and I left. I was like, I am out of this bitch. And it's just kind of funny because like 2 years later, so I was 23 at the time, I ended up going back to Job Corps. So the first time I didn't finish it, but I ended up going back 2 years later. And that time I actually stayed. I was in a different dorm, so I didn't have any weird, crazy experiences. But to this day, I sleep with a nightlight in my bedroom. I have one in my kitchen, one in my bathroom. Like I sleep with a light on. Like even in my room, I'll have a nightlight, and in my living room, also I'll leave a light on in my living room just because it freaks me out so bad. And then I also have a thing with mirrors. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember the Bloody Mary, like I don't know what you would call it, like game, I guess. It's like a scary game. So when you're young, when I was young, I was like in the 4th grade, 5th grade, I remember hearing about it. And I remember you like went in the bathroom and like all the lights had to be out. And then you like said her name. It creeps me out talking about this. Said her name like 3 times, standing in front of a mirror. And then she was like supposed to like come out of the mirror or whatever. And I swear to God, I was traumatized when I was a kid. I went into the school bathroom and the girls did it, and like one of them screamed, and I thought that it happened. And I remember like fleeing that bathroom as fast as I could. And needless to say, to this day, I will not sleep in a room with mirrors, or like, yeah, I will not like go to sleep if my room has mirrors in it, or I'll cover them up or something. It really freaks me out. So that is my story time for my experience living in a haunted dorm at Job Corps, and my experience with witnessing phenomenon from spirits. And that's why I believe, like, people ask me, do you believe in ghosts? And I'm like, hell yeah. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. So I definitely do believe in it. There's like nothing anybody could say to like change my mind on that aspect. I can tell my voice is already starting to go right now, so it's not going to last too much longer. But yeah, I just wanted to check in with you guys. If you have any questions about my experience, or if you want to just comment below your experiences with living in a haunted house or a haunted dorm or any sort of spiritual experiences, just post it below. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and there's like a little bell thing right next to it, and if you click that, that'll notify you of any future videos that I come out with. But thank you guys for being a part of my YouTube family. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.